The Clarity Act could completely reshape the crypto market, and most people still don't understand how big this really is. Now, this is not just another crypto bill. This is potentially the legal foundation for the next phase of institutional adoption. ETF expansion, stablecoin regulation, DeFi protection, and digital asset market structure in the United States. And in this video, I'm gonna break down what the Clarity Act is, why it matters, what parts of crypto could benefit the most, and risks that nobody's talking about, and why this could be one of the biggest turning points in crypto history. Now, what is the Clarity Act? The first thing we need to do is slow down and explain what this bill actually does, because a lot of people hear crypto regulation and automatically assume it's bearish, but that's not always true. Bad regulation can kill innovation, that's true, but clear regulation can sometimes unlock capital, infrastructure, institutional participation. And this is what crypto has been missing for years. The US crypto market has basically been stuck in a battle between the SEC and the CFTC. One side treated many tokens like unregistered securities. The other side viewed decentralized assets more like commodities. That fight went on for years and caused a lot of uncertainty. Crypto companies did not know what rules they were operating under. Exchanges didn't know what they could list. Builders did not know what they could build. This stopped innovation for years. That's not how you build a financial system. So the Clarity Act is trying to create structure. What is a digital commodity? What is a digital security? Who regulates any of it? When does a blockchain become decentralized enough to move outside of SEC oversight? Those questions matter because institutions do not like uncertainty. Pension funds don't like uncertainty. Banks don't like uncertainty. Serious investors do not like uncertainty. So when large pools of capital stay uncertain, money stays on the sidelines. That's why this bill matters. It's not just more regulation. This is potentially the legal framework for the next generation of crypto. Now, why is this bill different? Now, we've seen crypto bills before, but this one is different because it actually has momentum. According to the original outline, the bill passed in the House with strong bipartisan vote, which tells you that both parties understand that the current system is broken. And this matters because countries around the world are competing right now to become the crypto hubs. Dubai, Singapore, places in Latin America, Switzerland, and the United States. If the United States does not create clear rules, the innovation goes elsewhere. That's the bigger picture. It's not about crypto traders, it's not about meme coin holders, it's about who controls the future, financial infrastructure of the internet. But the details do matter. One definition can change billions of dollars. One sentence can determine whether DeFi survives in the United States. One carve-out can decide whether tokenization explodes or gets delayed. This is why people need to stop learning about regulation through tweets. The mechanics matter. Now, the biggest part of the bill is the difference between the digital commodity and the digital security. That sounds technical, but this may become one of the most important distinctions in crypto history. A digital security stays under SEC oversight. Digital commodity moves under the CFTC. That distinction changes everything because if a token clearly qualifies as a digital commodity, institutions can finally build around it with confidence. Exchanges can list it more comfortably. Custodians can custody it a lot more comfortably. Asset managers can potentially create ETF products around it, and eventually this could open up huge door and a much bigger, larger institutional market beyond just Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, that's a real opportunity. Most people think clarity slows markets down. Sometimes clarity can accelerate it because once institutions understand the rules, they can finally deploy capital, the mature blockchain system. Now, one of the most important ideas in the bill is a concept of a mature blockchain system. In simple terms, a project may eventually qualify as sufficiently decentralized. Now that matters because most crypto projects start centralized. There's usually a founding team, early investors, insiders, foundation controlling parts of the network. But over time, the systems are supposed to be decentralized. More validators join, more nodes join, more developers build governance spreads, the network evolves beyond one company controlling it to a decentralized network. So the question becomes, at what point does a token stop looking like a security and start looking like a commodity? This is what the framework is trying to answer. If projects can successfully transition into mature blockchain systems, that could dramatically change how institutional capital views those assets. But here's a risk. If the rules are too loose, weak projects could falsely claim decentralization. And why does that matter? Because this label could become one of the most important classifications in crypto. Another major part of this bill is the DeFi carve-out. This is where developers are paying close attention. The bill attempts to protect non-controlling blockchain developers from automatically being treated like regulated financial intermediaries. That matters because writing code is not the same thing as running a Wall Street brokerage. Running a validator is not automatically making you a custody of funds. And for years, one of the biggest fears in crypto has been that the regulators could one day treat every developer like a financial institution under the same rules. If that happened, innovation would collapse. Now, this does not mean DeFi becomes lawless. Fraud is still fraud. It doesn't matter what tool you use. Scams are still scams. But there's a difference between somebody stealing money and somebody building an open source infrastructure. And that distinction matters significantly for the future of the crypto innovation in the US. Now, the stablecoin fight. One of the biggest fights happening behind the scenes right now is around stablecoins and stablecoin yield. And this is where the banking system enters the conversation. A lot of people park money in stablecoins because they want dollar exposure without leaving crypto entirely. In some cases, platforms do offer yield opportunities to those stablecoins. Banks don't like that because stablecoin yields compete with their products. If users can hold digital dollars outside traditional banking and still generate yield, that challenges one of the core banking business models. This is why stablecoin regulation matters so much. If the final bill restricts stablecoin yield too aggressively, it could affect exchanges, DeFi platforms, and the broader liquidity ecosystem inside crypto. And this is the part people miss. Regulation changes incentives. It changes where capital goes. It changes who earns yields. It changes how platforms compete. It's not just legal language. This is money moving through systems. Now, what changes if this passes? First, major decentralized networks could finally receive clear regulatory framework. This alone could unlock massive institutional participation because traditional finance understands commodities. They understand custody. They understand compliance. They understand ETFs. They hate uncertainty. Clarity brings capital. Second, this could accelerate the next wave of crypto ETFs beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum because once assets clearly qualify as digital commodities, it could become easier for major asset managers to structure products around them. And ETF wrappers do matter because they open crypto exposure to a completely new class of investor, advisors, institutions, people who would never touch a crypto wallet. This changes the market dramatically. Now, as bullish as this sounds, there's still risk. One of the biggest is tokenized equity. According to the original outline, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong introduced language that can restrict tokenized equities, and tokenization could become one of the largest financial trends of the next decade. Stocks, real estate, bonds, private equity, treasuries, all of these assets could eventually move on chain. Now, if regulation slows that too aggressively, it could delay one of the crypto's biggest opportunities. The second risk is the mature blockchain loophole. If projects can self-certify too easily, bad actors will probably abuse the system. The third risk is stablecoin restrictions, and the fourth risk is surveillance expansion inside DeFi. And yeah, this bill could be bullish, but the final version does matter. Now, the question everybody wants to know, which cryptos benefit the most? The first category is major decentralized networks, most likely to qualify as digital commodities. The second category is infrastructure projects with real utility, payments, DeFi, storage, compute, tokenization, identity, real infrastructure. The third category is exchanges and custodians with strong compliance infrastructure. Fourth category is ETF candidates. This is important. Don't run around buying random coins. That's how people get destroyed. Cheap doesn't mean undervalued. A token can be down 95% and still have no future. You still have to think about real fundamentals. Now, here's how I would think about the Clarity Act. First wave is legal clarity. Second wave is institutional capital. Third wave is financial products, and the fourth wave is retail FOMO. You want to understand the first wave before the fourth wave arrives, because by the time the masses get in, a lot of the easy positioning will probably already be gone. That's how markets work. Now, here's the final takeaway. The Clarity Act could become one of the most important crypto bills in US history. Not because regulation magically makes things better, but because markets need structure before large-scale capital can fully commit. The people who benefit the most from changes like this are usually the people who understand the mechanics before the crowd did. They understood digital commodities. They understood decentralization, tokenization, the infrastructure layer before everybody else started screaming about the prices going up. Wealth is built before the masses realize what's happening. And this bill could be one of the clearest signals that crypto is slowly moving from speculation into infrastructure. Inside the CNC Academy, we break down opportunities like this before the crowd fully understands it. Crypto regulation, tokenization, ETFs, AI, macro, and emerging technology trends reshaping everything. If you want to stay ahead of these shifts, click the link below and join us inside the CNC Academy. See you in the next video.